Hello Galactic family. You wonder how much longer you have to wait until events start to take place as promised. The truth is that on a higher level all is in the now and it is difficult to pinpoint a date for an exact happening. The most that can be said is that certain ones are destined to occur regardless of any other activity, particularly attempts by the Dark Ones to prevent them happening. When the higher powers declare that certain events are to take place, you may rest assured that they will. They are beyond interference from the Dark Ones, and can ensure that progress follows a path that leads to success. Progress is not exactly held up but often concealed in such a way that knowledge of it is kept from those who would interfere with it. We know that some of you cannot understand why we tolerate such actions of the Dark Ones, but bear in mind that you live on a free will planet and we cannot interfere with the decisions you may make. As you might say, once you have made your mind up you have to be prepared for the outcome, for better or worse. Of course you are prompted in such a way that you understand the likely consequences of your actions, and hopefully you will respond to the influence to take the best action in the interests of everyone. Regretfully, whilst a certain degree of chaos is taking place, people can be rushed into making rash decisions, and the turmoil continues. However, you are slowly leaving the old vibrations behind, and with the improvements particularly through the higher vibrations, the trend will continue in the lessening of the negative activities until they will eventually cease altogether. It is all to do with your destiny, and having passed the marker there is a whole new vista ahead of you. You are already in year 5 of the new age and soon you can expect to learn more about the changes that are already beginning to have an impact upon you and your Earth. Looking way ahead you are destined to enter higher vibrations in a new area of space. Some will be afraid of the unknown but be assured that all changes and effects of them will be to your liking. You will no doubt be aware that some of the big national companies are in some cases struggling to keep afloat. They are having to size down to keep afloat, and some groups are reducing their numbers to also ensure they keep afloat. Clearly these are unwelcome changes, yet they cannot be avoided as there is something of a sink or swim situation to be faced. The changes are a sign of the times you are experiencing, and in the far future will be seen as a precursor to those changes to smaller and more manageable businesses. Of course you will see problems ahead, but in the meantime there will be gradual changes along with new technologies that will enable you to eventually become completely independent. You have a saying, small is beautiful, and so it is, as you will eventually find out. So what should you do whilst the changes are progressing? And the simple answer is focus more on your own needs and live up to your intent to lift up your vibrations, assuming of course you are pressing for personal ascension. Of course you should in any event be working towards the same goal, and human nature means that you are always seeking a way to evolve more quickly. However, you will need a lot of help and guidance if you are unaware of the way your lives are set up and organized to give you opportunities to evolve. Clearly progress is much more likely if you too are aware of how your life plan is set up to advance your spiritual progress. You have to be awakened spiritually and understand how much help is given once you have become aware of your true self. It follows that every soul eventually wakes up to their true selves, and realizes that they are much more than just their physical body, and that there is no such thing as death, and that all souls are immortal. Few people have the full story as to what is happening at present to make it possible to take a great leap forward. So much is at the ready as progress takes place, and short of announcing the great changes that are held in abeyance, little information can be released until it is totally safe to do so. You have come a long way to reach this position, and no announcements will be released yet to reveal what is taking place that is positive and certain to uplift humanity. Slowly but surely those of the light have taken over important positions that must be in their control to enable the final thrust to be made. Victory is in sight, and what a joyous time that will be, and celebrations will be in order. You who are incarnate upon earth at this time, number amongst those who can be considered as privileged to have been chosen at such a special time. Your presence will help stabilize the earth and at the same time help the vibrations to rise. You will undoubtedly have already lifted up your vibrations, and can help create peace and harmony through your presence. You have looked everywhere for God, and it has been quite a revelation for most to know God is inside each soul, and has been there all of the time. God loves all of His creations without exception, and God's love is all-encompassing and eternal, and God bears no judgment where human souls are concerned. God is the embodiment of universal love. God is all that is. The mysteries of life are too complicated for most people's understanding at their present levels. However, each soul is enlightened according to their present needs, and their guides are always ready to advance their understanding when it is apparent that they are ready. Every care is taken not to move things forward too quickly, to give time for new information to be fully understood. There is no sense of trying to rush matters, and each soul will travel their chosen path at whatever speed suits them. It is worth bearing in mind that as you go through each incarnation, you take on many different personalities. You gain experience in as many ways that are possible, meaning that you will be a man or woman according to what best brings you the experience you need to further your evolution. Often you will incarnate with those who have been part of your family in previous lives, but not necessarily in the same roles. You are no doubt starting to realize that great care is taken to ensure that your life plan is well suited to your needs. Having agreed to one, you nevertheless still have the option of exercising your free will, but at all times will be encouraged by your guides to fulfill your agreed plan. I leave you with love and blessings, and may the light brighten your days and path to completion. This message comes through my higher self, my God self, and every soul has the same connection to God. In love and light.